Hello everyone, here we have a very interesting thread on Spectrum, started yesterday by Astrom Vetus. I have never seen morale this low in all 12 years of this project, CIG. Link to this thread is in my first pinned comment below. I apologize, I will use an AI voice because this is a lot of text to read and I don't want to read all this text, but everything is very important. This is very well written. Sir Astrom Vetus, very well done.
I've been a part of Star Citizen since the very beginning, backing the project in July 2013 after following since the original Kickstarter in 2012. I'm also a space marshal. I didn't donate this much money because I don't care about this project, I care deeply. I want to see Star Citizen become a reality just as much as every other backer here, frustrated or otherwise. I've witnessed the highs and lows of this community, from moments of genuine excitement to outright frustration. We've weathered countless controversies, within these forums, across Reddit, and even through third-party journalism. I've watched a staggering number of videos on YouTube, both praising and condemning CIG's choices over the years. But this feels different. There's a deep-seated resentment now, one I've never seen before. And it's no wonder why. The player base is being blatantly ignored. The latest changes, especially the Master Mode's adjustments, sparked a backlash I haven't seen since the disaster of Hover Mode. How a core gameplay system like could be overhauled with so little regard for the community's feedback is staggering. I've watched all my Discord channels become ghost towns, my friends list emptying by the day. Everywhere I look, forums are buzzing with talk about a rapidly declining player base. These changes have fundamentally altered the experience for many, and it's painfully obvious that CIG didn't listen to its players beforehand.
I've heard this from a lot of people. Their friends list and their orgs are pretty much empty nowadays. The problem is, the game has gotten way worse this year. If progress is slow, but result is good, fine. But Star Citizen is getting worse and worse. Terrible, no fun master modes in 3.23. Terrible, very user-unfriendly Ironman UI in 3.23. Loading our ships ourselves at outposts using a magical handheld tractor beam while everyone can get onto our ship, onto the pilot seat and fly away in 3.24. We still don't have any keys, we still don't have a permission system. CIG talked about a permission system for more than 9 years by now. Item banks in 3.24 which are not any more realistic or immersive than local inventory, but a lot slower to use. Green universe in 3.24. New ship HUDs in 3.24.2, where important information like speed is now at the bottom of our view. New MFDs in 3.24.2, which have a horizontal scroll bar. A horizontal scroll bar inside the MFD, you have to scroll with your mouse. Good luck using MFDs in combat. Master modes is getting even slower in 3.24.2, CIG is nerfing boost speed. And we are getting a lot of mindless nerfs in 3.24.2.
Edit. I'd also like to call out the P-soup visual effect that you implemented, which another user pointed out so politely. Instead of giving us night vision, better scanning options, or even just the simple ability to turn off cabin/bridge lights, you opted for P-soup mode, turning the entire game into a murky green mess. It's arguably the laziest design choice you could have made. Worse, it feels like you're reducing render distance to make the game run better on consoles, a platform you specifically promised wouldn't be your focus. And this explanation fits right in with the Master Mode's decision, which reeks of being a console-friendly control scheme that's cumbersome for PC players using HOTAs, or even mouse and keyboard setups. All of these are design choices you've made entirely disregarding player feedback to the contrary.
Yeah, it looks more and more like CIG wants to have a console port, which is not a bad decision, but please, don't make our PC game worse because of a possible console port. Sandy mentioned a possible console port 8 years ago.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Going forward, for Star Citizen and Squadron 42 to go to console.
I mean, that would be Chris's decision, so don't jump on that, folks.
No, we are
not speculating.
Yeah, but that's a whole other audience again. It's another. Yeah. But I have a different marketing plan for Squadron 42, which hasn't started yet. But
okay.
But you didn't stop there, did you? You went ahead and crippled the tractor beam, reducing its traverse speed and turning box moving into a tedious, grindy process. I went out and bought a Logitech G502 Hero purely out of spite, because if I'm forced to spend $40, it'll be on a decent gaming mouse, not on this arthritis-inducing, poorly designed tractor beam mechanic you sold as a fix. I refuse to engage in your arthritis-inducing mouse while scrolling minigame on any level.
Well, it's a good old thing we know from many, many games. First, make your game worse, and then sell players a solution for the problem you just generated. It just feels bad that CRG is using the same terrible mechanic like Ubisoft, like Electronic Arts, like Activision Blizzard.
And now, here we go again. You're gutting the Corsair, and it feels painfully obvious that this is to push the next ship you'll market as the new flavor of the month. And making the co-pilot the chief button pusher. Have you completely lost touch with reality? These decisions are so out of sync with what players actually want or need that it suggests something far worse than mere incompetence. It reeks of internal disarray. Worse still, it reflects a culture of toxic positivity, the very kind of corporate blindness that's wrecking Ubisoft.
See, for example, Rock DS. This thing is a total meme. See, for example, Scorpius DS, aka Antares, where the only job for the co-pilot is to press the snare and EMP button, and he doesn't even have a HUD. He doesn't even know if his EMP is fully charged. See Reclaimer, where CRG is putting cheap bulk material like salvage into individual containers that have to be moved one by one. Reclaimer should have an automatic compactor in the rear. There's even a hatch where you could just dump your salvaged material. See Polaris, which will have a dedicated fire torpedo button pusher. The pilot should fire torpedoes not because I want to be able to solo a Polaris. Pilot is flying the ship. Pilot has the best knowledge when to fire torpedoes. My guess is engineering gameplay will be very bad too. Bigger ships will need to have an engineer who most of the time has nothing to do. Good luck finding someone who wants to play your engineer. I could go on and on.
But the rot runs even deeper than that. We've been waiting over a decade for this game to move beyond alpha, and we're no closer to seeing a finished product. Server meshing. Am I supposed to be impressed by 100 players in a game that's been billed as an MMO? The seamless universe. What seamless universe? 12 years in and we're still celebrating our second star system like it's a major milestone. These are all empty promises while we're inundated with more ship sales and increased monetization. 12 out of my 14 ships are still nothing but JPEGs. You push more and more ship sales, yet never deliver what you've already sold. How long are we expected to endure this perpetual alpha state with no clear path to a full release? It feels like CIG is more interested in pushing out new ships and half-baked, barely tested content than delivering meaningful gameplay progress.
Well, CRG has to continue to sell OP ships and nerf them after sale is over, because they still need a lot of money. Star Citizen in year 12 is not even 10% done. And we don't even have 10% of the stretch goals in the game. By the way, there was an Unreal 5.5 demo with server meshing and 8,500 people.
Meanwhile, long-standing bugs and game-breaking issues continue to plague the game, year after year. Crashes, glitches, broken mechanics, they're all still there, unresolved. And what's the go-to question? Did you submit an issue council ticket? But the common reply is disheartening: why bother? No one reads them anyway. That's a serious problem, CIG. Instead of addressing the core gameplay that desperately needs fixing, you prioritize disruptive updates like master modes, features no one asked for. Why are we constantly dealing with systems we never wanted, while real issues are left to rot?
I pretty much stopped creating IC reports because CRG doesn't care. The same old bugs are coming back again and again. For example, cannot see markers of my party members. This bug is in the game for at least 4 years by now. It gets fixed, it comes back, it gets fixed, it comes back, and so on. CRG is very bad at separating the different builds, and this game has tons of quick and dirty quote-unquote fixes, several layers on top of each other. CRG's code is a mess.
And then there's Squadron 42, your perpetual shield. It's always 2 years away, like clockwork. Every time we ask, the answer never changes. You promised that Star Citizen would benefit from the work being done on Squadron 42, so where is it? If Squadron 42 is truly in its polishing phase, where's the finished content that was supposed to have made its way into the persistent universe by now? We're still waiting.
Last year at CitizenCon, Chris said we hit an inflection point.
And I've sort of seen some online comments about, okay, well that's very cool, but when are we going to get it in the game? But one of the real reasons why we wanted to show you this CitizenCon is because we've hit an inflection point on a lot of the features, as in they're either finished or they're in polishing stage, which is why we're showing them. So everything that we've been showing you here at CitizenCon is our intention, not making 100% promise, just so everyone remembers that, to get them into Star Citizen through next year. So it's not going to be gated on having to be after Squadron 42. So we're planning over the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 of next year. Hopefully everything that we've shown you, you will have in your hands playing inside Star Citizen.
We see nothing of an inflection point this year. Progress is as slow as ever. I heard CRG moved a lot of devs back to Squadron 42. And Star Citizen got a lot worse this year, not better.
And then, there's CitizenCon. What used to be a celebration of progress has devolved into a hollow, commercialized event. Instead of offering transparency or addressing the community's real concerns, we get more marketing fluff and the endless parade of ship sales. For the first time since I backed this game, I have zero interest in CitizenCon this year. I won't be watching it, and frankly, I don't care. The growing apathy from the player base should concern you, but I'm starting to believe you've stopped listening altogether. This isn't just my viewpoint, it's what's unfolding in front of us all.
I will watch CitizenCon and I will make videos about CitizenCon. Chris will be on stage again and Chris will paint beautiful pictures of all the fantastic things that are just around the corner and are coming to Star Citizen very, very soon. And then in 2025 almost nothing of this materializes again. By the way, if you are thinking about selling your account, selling your ships, do it during CitizenCon because some people are still hyped and that's the best chance you get to sell your ships. There are account buyers, resellers, who give you 25%, and for a few months by now, they don't even accept any new accounts. Let this sink in.
CIG, you owe your community more than just a hollow apology. We need a genuine, heartfelt explanation. Not the empty words we've heard before, but a real answer as to why you continue to ignore player feedback. Without us, the backers, you have nothing. If you want an example of how to truly engage with your community, take a lesson from Coffee Stain Studios. Watch a few of their press releases and see what proper, transparent communication with your player base actually looks like. It's time to step up. A concerned backer.
This was very well written, Mr. Astromvetus. Just a few more things I would like to point out. Original release date of Squadron 42 and Star Citizen was November 2014. Yes, 2014. And no, there was never any poll, do you want to have more features? I debunked this. Link to this is on top right corner. And we also have the engine problem. CryEngine would have been alright for the November 2014 release of Squadron 42 and Star Citizen. Still okay in 2016, but now in 2024 Star Engine is not up for the task anymore. CIG cannot change to a modern engine. This would easily add another 3 to 4 years. And calling it StarEngine does not change the fundamentals of CryEngine, which has major LOD, culling, lighting and physics issues. 5 years from now, the earliest I can maybe see a 1.0, CryEngine will be ancient tech. Another major problem is Chris is still prioritizing eye candy, fluff, time sinks and cool cinematic. Chris is still neglecting basics, basic mechanics, some very basic physics, fun and interesting gameplay. I like Star Citizen. I want Star Citizen to become a fantastic game and a huge success. But as long as Chris is making the decisions, I have very little hope left for this game. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
No. Hi, I'm Mark Hamill. Though starring in Wing Commander, I'm also featured on Mask of the Phantom. Wow. Now this can be yours for nice autograph. Oh,
troublemaker.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that top. Look at that. That's real plastic, too. That is. See, you open. What you do is you open it.
Towards Billy Butler.
You open it, and then you smell the plastic. Oh, that was a good week. Very good week.
Hey, have you got those plastic champagne glasses we asked for?
Oh, dear me.
There you go, Tom.
That's very kind of you. You didn't have to do that. This would be just fine. The way I drink.
Oh, class.
Hey, don't start with me, Bernard. Thank you. That's very nice. Man, if you people weren't in costume.
Chris isn't.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.